Good evening, everybody. This is a banana flour. I'm going to make something called a chicken curry with using this banana flour. It's a unique dish that we do in Assam, that we make in Assam, and today I'd like to show you how we exactly go about doing it. First of all, let me show you how we're going to tear apart the outer leaves of this banana flour. At first, we need to chop away the front part of the banana flour and then slowly tear apart the outer leaves and come till we come to the soft inner part, because we're not going to use these outer parts there. So like this, one by one, we'll just take out all the outer layers of the banana flour. We can this particular you have this part of the banana flour also can be used. I'll show you how we can use it and how we can make wonderful fritters out of this part of the banana flour. So slowly we can take it out like this till we come to the soft inner part, which actually will be used when we are making the chicken in banana flour. So this way, I think till here it's fine. Yes, because we have this one more layer, and then we will have the soft inner part. This entire thing will be going into the cooking of the banana flour. But what we have done is that we have also cut out the front portion. As you can see, this front portion is cut out, chopped out, and we are now going to just keep it like this in the perpendicular position for 10 minutes or so, and we'll have some watery milky part coming out from the banana flour, which has to be out, and after that only we can do the cooking. This is the only milky part that was out from this particular banana flour. So I guess this was cut some time back. So now we're going to show you how we are going to cut it so that we can use it for the chicken recipe. So this is the way it goes. You need to slit apart through the middle, and then this is how it looks there, the banana flour, and then we are going to cut it, chop it down into fine pieces so that it melts and merges with the chicken when it is cooked. So we need to make it as thin and small pieces as possible. So this is how it goes. This way we are going to chop down the entire the whole banana flour. And the entire thing will go into the making of around 300 grams of chicken. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. As I already introduced to you, today we are going to cook something special in the Assamese cuisine, that is chicken in banana flour. I've already shown you how we have started to chop into small pieces the banana flour, and now I'm going to show you how we're going to marinate the chicken in the typical manner. We have used local chicken, around 300 or 350 grams of chicken, and now let us go about and marinate the chicken. So this is the amount of chicken that we have cleaned and chopped into small pieces of this size, right? So now, because it's local chicken, we do not have very lot of flesh in it, but it's much more tastier. Right. So what I'm going to do is that put in all the masalas, dry masalas. So around this much of haldi powder that I'm putting in here first. Then I'm going to put in, say, around 2 heaped teaspoons of jeera powder or cumin powder, and 1 heaped teaspoon of coriander or dhania powder. I'm also putting in, say, 1 heaped teaspoon of black pepper powder or jaluk or ghee, and some this is the salt that I'm putting in, but we have to be careful. We'll not put much salt here, because when we make the banana flour, we have to smear it with the salt and keep it for some time, and then squeeze out the excess water from the banana flour. Okay. We'll also put in some mustard oil here. So around 2 tablespoons of mustard oil, and mix it together properly with the hand. Using the hands, it gives us the feeling of real flesh against flesh, but it's real, and it really feels good. And I think we do the marination proper with the use of your hands there, I think. So this way we'll keep it for say around 10-15 minutes. Now, whenever we talk about using the natural ingredients that we get from nature in our food, we always try to associate some medicinal qualities with that. And speaking about the banana flour, we hear often amongst the locals here that if you eat this, it is going to increase your hemoglobin percentage in your blood. I have no idea whether it's scientifically true, but that's the word all around. And of course, one more thing here, people have this wrong idea that if you eat banana flour, it will lead to constipation and a lot of problem in the morning. But I think that's not the right idea. In fact, it is one of the best vegetables that you can make yummy dishes from. We need to, however, take care that when we are cutting into small, chopping it down like this, towards the end of the banana flour, around this part, you're going to get something like this, because this here we need to take it out, this part, right? Because it's going to otherwise stick onto your teeth when you really try to eat it. So we have to bring it out like this. We pull it out and then throw it away, and we so that it becomes a very smooth mixture there. We do not have these sticking onto our teeth when we eat it. So this part needs to be taken out towards, as we cut from the first till we come to the end, this part we need to take these off before we go about. Another thing, we also need to take out this part while cutting, the tough part there, right to the middle of the banana flour. So in a way, we are trying to just keep in only the soft part of the banana flour and use it. Just wanted to give you some more information about what type of banana flours you need to use, because all banana flours are not good enough for this recipe. In fact, the tastiest is what we call bhim kol or bhim banana in Assam. And in fact, we also get some banana flours from the hilly areas. That particular banana flour is also very tasty when we cook it with chicken there. And in fact, we call it athia kol in Assamese. We can also make it with the other banana flours, but it will be more tastier. That's what I want to say about it. So this is the amount of the banana flour that we got after cutting on big banana flour. And now the next step is to take some salt and then try to squeeze out all the water from the salt. Now we are just going to mash it together, properly mix up the salt with the banana flour. It might be a little sticky. No problem, you can wear gloves if you want, but there's, you can just have to wash it off and it'll be out. But for now, we're going to mash out and squeeze out. Try to squeeze out all the water that will come out once we mix the banana flour with the salt. I guess it needs a little bit of strength on your part, but okay, this is the way you mash it for say 3-4 minutes, and slowly you'll see that water will come out from the banana flour mixture. It's a real pleasure to introduce before you some garden fresh onions that we got from our rooftop garden. So this is just a small portion of it, and now we're just going to select say 1 and 2. That will be enough for our recipe today. See, we have a lot of water that's come out from the banana flour after squeezing it for almost, mashing it with the salt for almost 3-4 minutes. So So we have to squeeze out all the water and keep it separately. You can see that the amount has reduced a lot after mixing it with salt and taking out the water. Now after this we are going to run it through running water and then in a way wash it and again squeeze in them into balls of this size, and of course we're going to break it off and use it in our chicken recipe. See, we have so much of water out from the banana flour. Now one more thing why we really need to wash it is that we have put a lot of salt here, and it's really going to affect the amount of salt that we'll put in the recipe, and therefore once we wash it off we'll have a neutral balance. So after we have washed it clean, this is the amount we have of the banana flour. So very nicely done up. And here we have around 2 big sized potatoes, just diced into big dice, because this after all has to cook with the chicken, which will take some time. So if you have small ones there, it's really going to really melt off and completely merge with the entire the banana flour. I have taken here 2 big sized onions and chopped again into big pieces, because this way again we will get the flavor of the onion in the curry or in the entire dish. I will also need 1 bay leaf or tezpatta and 1 dry red chilli. You may avoid using the dry red chilli because we are anyway going to use black pepper. And black pepper and the chili normally they don't go very well, because they really both of them are heated up and then we have a completely spicy sort of a dish. You know, you can avoid it if you want. I'll also be needing a paste of ginger and garlic, around 13 cloves of garlic and 1 big inch of ginger. Both of them have been smashed together. And of course, as I showed it to you, this is my marinated chicken for around almost 20 minutes done now, because as I was telling you, we took a lot of time to prepare the banana flour. So now we'll put up the karai on flame and get about doing or making the chicken in banana flour. Sorry. So I've put up a big cast iron karai on flame, and now we're going to heat it up fully and then put in some oil. I would like to also tell you that in Assamese we call it Koldilot Diya mangxo or Koldil murgir mangxo. So by the way, we're going to need a lot of, in a way, a little more of the mustard oil, because this banana flour is going to soak up the oil and then become very dry. If you want to have it without any curry with steamed rice, you need it something like, you know, a little bit of soggy and the feel of a little bit of gravy sort of when you eat it. So we will need a little bit more of the mustard oil. So we'll put in the oil. Let's measure the oil and put up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I think we need 1 more. So because we have a lot of banana flour there, and this is going to be a nice and yummy dish, we need some extra oil there, and the oil has to smoke off because it's mustard oil and the raw flavor has to go away, and then we start cooking. So it's smoked up. We're putting in the onion. As I mentioned, we have used the onions in big size because we want the flavor of the onion in the dish. Let's split open the red chilli and the bay leaf also and put it. We are also putting in 1 teaspoon of cumin powder or jeera powder and half a teaspoon of the coriander powder and some red chilli powder or Kashmiri red chilli powder, because the onion also needs to get the flavor of the masalas. And now we're also going to put in the haldi or the turmeric and a dash of color there. So this is it. The turmeric goes in. So we'll fry it for some time and also put in a little bit of salt here now so that the onions cook up faster and also get the flavor of the salt there. So this much, just a small teaspoon of salt there also goes in. I had reduced the flame, so I'm increasing the flame again now, and we will cook it for some time till it becomes a little golden color. And now we're going to put in the ginger garlic paste. The entire ginger garlic paste goes in. Yes, and then we fry, constantly stirring it. And we are preparing a very nice and spicy curry, which is typically Assamese in flavor. First now, when this is the condition of your onion, not very brown, just browning up, we'll put in the marinated chicken there. And try to mix up the chicken with all the masalas of the onion, the garlic and the ginger. So this way we cook for say 2-3 minutes, constantly stirring it. So after 2-3 minutes we will put in the pieces of potato. The potato pieces are not boiled, they are raw still, so that they will get the flavor of the chicken into themselves. And you'll feel the taste when you eat into the potato also. In fact, in my house, the potato that we give in the chicken or the mutton is something that we all love. Now, I'm reducing the flame a bit and let it remain covered and cook in its own flavors for say around 4 to 5 minutes. So this has been cooking on for almost 4-5 minutes. You can see the water that has come out is it's from the chicken itself. So we have not added any water. In between I had stirred on. So we'll cook on for some more minutes. But however, we need to be careful that we are not going to cook the entire chicken completely. Otherwise, it will not give out its flavor to my banana curry or the banana flour. The dish there. So another 2-3 minutes will still cook covered, and then after that we will put in the banana flour that we have here. We're waiting for some more time, and you can really imagine the beautiful smell that's around in my kitchen now. It's lovely, the smell, and almost mouth-watering. Now this has been cooking on for quite some time, almost 8 minutes now. And see, this is cooked. It's not fully done, but it's beginning to be cooked. And so before it gets completely cooked, we're going to break in the banana flour into this particular dish there. So that is it. So I'll reserve some for something else that I'm going to make later on. So this is done. So this much is what goes in, and we are going to mix up this entire mixture into the chicken and the pieces of potato. So this is the entire process. We make it. It's a typically Assamese way of cooking banana flour. When, in fact, in the earlier times, we used to have it with pigeon meat. But pigeon itself, such a small little bird, there's not much meat in that. So we opted out of pigeon meat and went on into the chicken that we are talking about. Now again, because it's a nice mixture that we have here, I'll just cover and keep it for another, in slow flame, say another 4 or 5 minutes. However, we need to check in between and stir it so that it doesn't get stuck onto the bottom. Okay, now this has been going on for 7-8 minutes. Now let's check. Yes, it's cooking up there. Now let me just check in for the salt, and then we will see whether we really need some more salt there. Little bit of salt that we need. Now one thing here, because we had used mustard oil, I cannot use any more mustard oil now because it needs to heat up before I really put anything. So I'm just trying to make a hole in center like this, and then put in some vegetable oil, just a half a teaspoon of vegetable oil might be, and put in a little bit of salt there, amount I need, so that it mixes on properly with the curry. Otherwise, if I put it on top, it will not mix properly with the entire dish there. So now, and sometimes if that happens, of course, we'll have salt in some places and not in the others. So once we check in for whether everything is cooked properly, see, you can see everything is merged into one another into a homogeneous mixture sort of. So yes, and we have this completely cooked there, and we are now going to really let it just 1 minute or so, because we have put in the salt. We just want the salt to completely mix or melt into the curry. Okay, so this is just 1 minute done, and we are done with the recipe. It's a completely different recipe that I've taught you today, and something that's a favorite in my house. And now I'm going to dish it out, and it'll be. So here's my dish for you. This is chicken in banana flour, or what we call Koldilot Diya mangxo in Assamese. It's an Assamese local delicacy, but if you try it out, it's really going to be yummy. I would, however, like to remind you once again, this comes out best when cooked in mustard oil. It needs to be local chicken, and if you use broiler chicken, it will not be so tasty. Of course, you can always have it, but it will be more tastier, in fact tastier, if you use the local chicken. And more so, the banana flour needs to be of the what we call bhim kol or bhim banana in what we find it here all around. Of course, that is the best thing that you can use to have this yummy particular dish there. So here's this for you, my dish, and do subscribe to my channel and press on the like button if you like it. Thank you so much for watching.